Whoa, I didn't see you guys there. Check out what I'm cooking. Let me show you. What you think? The time is here. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this head back up and operational. If you guys remember a couple of videos back, this head had a piston ring stuck in it and the valve guides were cracked and chunks missing off of them. So what we're gonna do today is an at-home valve guide replacement, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna do that here. I've got some tools, I've got some stuff that are gonna help me make this happen here at home, and hopefully we can get these valves to seal correctly. But before we do that, I need to take some measurements. So let me show you guys how I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that those valve guides are exactly at the same location and to the same spec that they are in this head right now. I use just a simple caliper to go ahead and see the depth of that valve guide. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and make a system so that when we go ahead and put that valve guide back in there, the brand new one, that it stays at the same exact height that it is right now. The only thing that I could come up with is this. So what I went ahead and did was lap this down to the exact same specifications or the same depth as the valve guides that are in there now. This is gonna help me place this bushing on the valve and use it as a stop for when I go ahead and give it the final touches, you know, give it the final love taps it needs to go exactly where it needs to go. And this is gonna be the persuader. This is just some Home Depot pipe fittings with a brass tip on there. The reason why I'm using brass is because the valve guides are steel. So if I use brass, there is no way that I'm gonna damage, mar those valve guides. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get them where they need to go. This was relatively cheap. This I found at my local hardware store. This is a bushing. This is also brass. So once I put it on the seat where the spring seats, it won't damage anything. Let's say I go a little bit too far, I tap it all the way down. This is soft. This is not gonna damage the aluminum as well. So let's get to it. Let's go ahead and prep this head. I'm gonna need to do a couple things before I can go ahead and get this head ready for that installation. We're gonna take off a couple of these sensors that are still on it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bake this head and we're gonna make sure that it's up to like around 200 degrees. I don't wanna do any more than that, just kind of like whatever the car sees as you're driving, or you know, it's as hot as the car is gonna get. So nothing's gonna change. It shouldn't change the characteristics of the head at all. Shouldn't warp, shouldn't do anything, because it's nothing crazy. I'm not gonna go ahead and put this in like a furnace or anything crazy like that. I'm gonna do it right here in my oven. Let's get this head up to temperature so that we can make sure that these valve guides come out as easy as possible. They don't score anything on the way out, and we'll go ahead and get those replaced. For the new ones I'm putting in there, you're gonna wanna stick around. I'm gonna try something that I saw online. I mean, I've been researching this and it's gonna be pretty cool, I think. So stick around. All right, so let's bring up the big guns. Harbor Freight air hammer. And I got this attachment which goes on it. This is from Woodward. It's an air driver. So this is a valve guide air driver. I got this from Head Supply online. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and get this head up to temperature. Well guys, I think she's done. She's been in there at 200 degrees for about like 30 minutes. So let's get it out and set it on the table and try and work as fast as possible to get those valve guides out. Just like that, boys. They're out. Look at these guys. Jesus. So I want to make sure that we clean everything off where the valve guide used to sit so that we can go ahead and have a very clean surface to work with. No grit, no grime when the new valve seat is installed. Alright, so now that we have the guides out, we gotta put the new ones in. I've cleaned everything up, everything looks good. There's no damage at all to where the valve guides go. I thought that maybe with a broken guide, they were gonna scratch that inner surface, but everything looks great. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna get the other ones in. I'm gonna pop this back into the oven so that we go ahead and bring these up to 200 degrees. And with what we're gonna do to the valve guides, I'm sure they'll slide right in. I told you guys that we were gonna be cooking something, and I wasn't lying.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Check this out. I got my nice little frying pan here. Wait, let me show you this before I show you the other thing. We got some rubbing alcohol. Okay. And the main ingredient, which we will be mixing, dry ice. This is the coldest that we could come up with here at home. This is you could get this at your grocery store, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour oh god we're gonna pour some of the alcohol in here, and we're gonna go ahead and get this as cold as possible. This should net to about maybe negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and this will help the valve guides shrink up, which I have right here. Brand new valve guides from Subaru. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put this in here. We're gonna wait until it goes, shut up. We're gonna wait until it gets nice and cold, and then we're gonna pop them in for about 15 minutes, and then we'll bring those heads out of the oven and we'll go ahead and get ready to put these in. Now you shut up. Jeez, rude. This should do the trick. So this is what they look like in there. As you can see, they're completely submerged. That alcohol should get pretty dang cold. I mean, I'm gonna leave it in here for about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes max. Then we'll go ahead, set it to the side, bring out the head, and slide them in the rest of the way. This is nice and cold, nice and frosty, as you can see here. It's been in there for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna go get the head. I'm gonna bring it here. I can't talk much, so basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna spray some of this silicone PB blaster, and we're gonna go ahead and get those valve guides in there. Let me go grab the head from the oven and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I don't know if you guys can see down there, but those valve guides, they have about the same protrusion coming out of the head, out of the chamber. But we're gonna go ahead and measure that and make sure that they're within specs. Okay, so the first one is 1594. The next one is 16.06. Subaru calls for 15.8 to 16.2 in order for the depth of those valves to be within spec. This is perfect. Right now, the next step that we have to do is make sure that the valves are gonna go in there smoothly. So when the new guides are installed, the valve guides don't really want to go in. You can see there's no way I can get that in. It doesn't even spin. So in order to make them fit the way they're supposed to, and for them to slide in like that, what we need to do is use a valve guide reamer. So this is the reamer tool itself. I've already gone ahead and done that side. You can see here with all the shavings. This side is ready, but I'll show you guys what I did in order for me to get it that way. So we're gonna take this tool, make sure that that is completely clean in there. This does have like a tapered edge, so there's no way that you could start it off wrong. For these steel valve guides, all you're gonna do is go in and try to go as smooth as possible. Let the tool do the work. If these were bronze valve guides, they would need to be, this process would need to be done with some sort of oil. But these steel guides, if you go online, I mean, you look for information on how to ream steel guides, and everyone says that these cast steel vibes are they need to be ream dry. So that's what we're doing here. Let's grab a little bit of oil so that it doesn't go in dry. Just like that. If you can get it to do this, there's no play, you're in the ballpark. Another way to tell is if you grab this, your finger, and plug the other side of the valve guide, and you pull on this quick, it should make some sort of suction popping sound. Now we're gonna take an extra measure of precaution and making sure that everything is within specs. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of these small set of gauges that you can put in there, and you just tighten this and it expands so that you can measure with your caliper here and get the inner diameter of that small valve guide. So let's do that now. Subaru calls for a measure of 6 millimeters to 6.2. So you want to do it till it's tight, but still goes in and out relatively smoothly. So like this, but it won't fall down. It won't go in, won't slide down into it. It's not loose. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our caliper, make sure it's zeroed out again. Okay. And we measure here. So right at the spec that they need to be. I'm gonna do it for the other side. This is too tight, I can't get it in and out. Now I can get it in and out. We're gonna measure this now. And again, 6 millimeters. So that is perfect as well. Let's move on to making sure that these valves are gonna sit flush against this valve seat and that we can get them to seal. Everything looks like it's gonna seal up perfectly fine. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take care of all of these imperfections that are here in the combustion chamber. I'm gonna knock down all the raised edges and just try and smooth out any imperfections so that there's nothing sharp, nothing that can superheat in this area here. And I think we'll be done with this side and we can go ahead and start building the head back. So let's get to it. So I'm very happy with this, how it came out. If you can see, all I've done was pretty much smooth down any of the rough edges that were caused by the damage of that piston. um, this stuff, those grooves and stuff like that, it's not really going to affect anything. They're nice and smooth, they're not too deep, so nothing's gonna get like super heated or anything like that. Now that we have the combustion chamber and the valve situations all figured out, and we've gone ahead and finished with that, I wanted to go ahead and lap this head. And in order to do that, I needed to find something that was super flat. Most people go to Lowe's or Home Depot or like a tile store, and they buy like a, you know, super flat ceramic rectified tile so that it's as flat as possible. uh, I thought, I have factories or like warehouses that build kitchens in my area, and they usually scrap a bunch of pieces. This piece of granite was, I'm guessing, like the opening for the sink, and this is about an inch thick. It's super flat. Purchased this straight edge on Amazon, cheap, 25 bucks. And what Subaru calls for, and most MLS gasket manufacturers, is 2000s. So whatever surface you're working on needs to be at least 2000s, have no more than 2000s deviation. So here we go.
Approximately 10 hours later.
There it is. So 2000s or 0.05 millimeters. That's how flat this needs to be in order for us to use it as a somewhere to lap. If I take this 2000s feeler gauge, it should not go through any of the area here. So this ensures that we have a perfectly flat and smooth area to work with. So let's get to it. I'm going to prepare this so that we can go ahead and use it to lap the head. Stick around. So I had no choice but to go ahead and bring all this stuff out here. I was trying to do it inside, but there's no way at all that I was going to be able to keep up with the mess inside the house. So this is a brand new day for you. I've gone ahead and glued this down, and it's had some time to cure, so we should be good on that. The paper was coming up and it was getting ripped up, even with me just kind of going just in one motion. Not what I wanted to do, but it still wasn't working. I'm not gonna put any WD-40 on this today, and I'm gonna show you what we accomplished yesterday on this surface. As you can see, the surface is good. It looks like it's coming down at a very even pace. So we're gonna continue doing what we were doing, and we're gonna hope for the best results. After all is said and done, I'll go ahead and bring you guys back so you can see the final results. As you guys can see, everything is perfectly flat. All the areas where the gasket material was or rests on is gone. This stuff is from the damage that it had due to the piston. That porosity there is, I'm not gonna worry about it. The gasket won't even see that. This is the other side. You could see there where I dremeled out and smoothed that out and how it's perfectly flat. Now time for the real test. This is, by the way, 2000s feeler gauge. So that's not going through at any point there. Let's do the 3 center points. Nothing there. Nothing here. And nothing here. But for the sake of my mental health, we're gonna go down to a 1000th feeler gauge, and we'll check it with that as well, just to see. This is excessive because 2000s is more than good for any MLS gasket. So, as you guys can see, this head is perfectly flat. Now, I am gonna go back and kind of grind off a little bit of this sharpness with the Dremel. I want to get off any of these sharp corners that could potentially create a hot spot. These cars are super prone to detonation, so whatever I can do right now in order for me to go ahead and smooth it out, kind of something like this, would be beneficial for the car. It would be beneficial for the life of the engine. And if we're doing everything, we have already come this far, I might as well just get it done. I'll get that done off camera since it's kind of like the same thing you saw me do here. And we'll go ahead and finish this head off. So the time has come to go ahead and reassemble the head. Put the springs in, the seals, the valves, all that good stuff, so that we could get it together once again. Later on, I'll be cleaning both of these heads. Right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure to build it all back together. And then once it's built, I'll go ahead and clean it out. I know it sounds counterproductive, but to be honest, I'm not too worried about how it looks. And I wanna like brake clean the whole head, so I'm not gonna have any issues right at the moment of installation or when I put these on the block. I want them to be spotless. So for right now, this is good enough. Just need to get it all assembled. So let's get to it. purchased this tool from Amazon. All right, so I got those keepers in, and it was way harder than I anticipated. So I'm not gonna sit here and bore you guys with all this video. I'm gonna go ahead and do them all. I had to remove this bolt so that it could like rotate just a little bit in order for me to get the spring aligned correctly. But it does work, and I'll go ahead and install these and get them all done, and I'll be back. After we are done installing these, you always want to give them a nice tap, make sure that they are seated correctly and that these things are not going to fly off whenever your engine is revving to the moon. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put back the cams and everything just until the moment I'm ready to go ahead and clean this and go ahead and assemble or install these onto the block. So these are pretty much as good as done. I've made good on my promise so far. No machine shops yet. So let's see if we could keep this streak going. The next thing that we're gonna be tackling is that block. The issue with that one was the pitting that was on the surface of the deck there. I think I already know what I'm gonna be using. I am not going to a machine shop. So I guess we're gonna be testing some stuff out, seeing how it works. If it goes good, then I save myself the hassle of taking it there, and they're probably going to want to disassemble the whole entire thing in order for them to go ahead and deck the surface or go ahead and resurface the deck of that block. So I want to avoid all that stuff. What I'm going to use, I'll let you guys know in the next video. But for right now, I think this video has gone on for long enough. I'm going to wrap it all up. I do appreciate you guys sticking around, and if you want to keep watching some more contents regarding all these things that you could do at home, you know, today's a Subaru, tomorrow BMW, who knows what we're gonna be tackling next. Please stick around, subscribe, and make sure to give me that like. I know it means nothing. I'm super small right now as far as it being a channel, so it's gonna help. Anything you guys do will help. Leave comments, whatever, any suggestions. You'd hate me, just leave it in the comments. As far as the winner for the last prize or the last giveaway, Adam, Jonathan, send me your information, longbackjoe@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and ship out a couple things for you so that you can have some souvenirs or some trophies that belong to this build. Well, with that being said, we're gonna wrap this up, and I hope to see you next time. And stick around, there's a lot more to come.